Good morning, everybody. It's an early Saturday morning. Just had my second cup of coffee. And I started thinking about what I consider to be a wonderful poem by the actor Michael Madsen called Movies. And if anybody knows movies, it's Michael Madsen. God knows he's been in a lot of them. And many memorable films, and he's memorable in every film that he's in. I think he's a very fine actor, and he's also evidently a very good writer. I got this book of poems by him last spring, I guess. But anyway, I was just thinking about some of the movies that I might watch this weekend, and thinking guys like Mitchum and Kirk Douglas and Steve McQueen and Bronson and Jimmy Stewart. And so anyway, this is Madsen's poem. I have to sort of take on a Madsen persona to read it, but again, it's certainly not my words. It's his. Pardon my little grunt here before I get into the poem. Clear my sinuses a bit. Movies by Michael Madsen. Remember when all the men on the ship said goodnight to Mr. Roberts, or when Shane rode off over the mountains, Kirk Douglas trying for the note on the trumpet, Jimmy Cagney screaming on top of the tower, Bob Mitchum going after those kids, and Humphrey Bogart pulling off leeches, Marlon Brando finding the dead pigeons on his roof, Gloria Swanson walking down those fucking stairs, and Bette Davis testing the weight of a rifle. Chuck Heston finding his mother and sister, and Charlie Bronson getting shot in the Magnificent Seven. Burt Lancaster with his rose tattoo, and Burt Lancaster on Alcatraz. Kirk Douglas coughing in his room with Joe Van Fleet, and Kirk Douglas looking at his dead horse in the rain. Lee Marvin in The Twilight Zone, and Lee Marvin in Point Blank. Mr. Blonde dancing, and Dennis Hopper with a gas mask. Steve McQueen laughing in the back seat of a Mercury, and Steve McQueen smiling at the engine. Tim Roth as the only interesting monkey, and Harry Dean walking and making Paris, Texas. Watching Paul Newman eating those eggs. And Paul Newman telling George C. Scott that he wasn't going to get any more money. Carl Malden telling Marlon he was going to hang, and Carl Malden talking to Blanche and lighting that bent cigarette on the waterfront. Jack playing the piano. Jimmy Stewart loving Donna Reed, and Jimmy Stewart doing just about anything. Fonda in the Dust Bowl, and Fonda Jr. on the motorcycle. Lon Chaney with 1,000 Faces. And Lon Chaney Jr. walking around with Frankenstein and Creature Features on TV in Evanston. Leaves blowing across the floor of the empty summer home while Monty Cliff goes to the chair. Jake LaMotta shadow boxing in slow motion at the beginning of Raging Bull. And Anthony Quinn yelling and dancing across the ring dressed like a crazy Indian at the end of Requiem for a Heavyweight. We are all on the run. From the richest Maharaj to the lowest, dirty, stinking pedophile. The big, the small, the smart, the dumb. The right, the wrong, the lost, the found, the forgotten, the remembered, the free, and all the long-timers. All on the run, one way or another. Yesterday, I was the answer to 46 down in a crossword puzzle in the LA Times. Michael Madsen, movies.